I accidentally joined a stranger's family vacation and ended up dating their daughter. I was supposed to meet my college friend Dylan and his family at the Clearwater Beach Resort. Instead, I walked up to a different family in the lobby because the dad was holding a sign that said Dylan. They were the Mitchells, and apparently their nephew Dylan was flying in from Chicago. I'm Dylan from Boston, and I wasn't paying attention. The dad, Richard, grabbed my suitcase before I could explain. Dylan, thank God you made it. Traffic from the airport, okay? I opened my mouth to correct him, but his wife Barbara was already hugging me. We're so glad you're here. Richard's been talking about this fishing trip for months. Fishing trip? My Dylan hadn't mentioned fishing. That should have been my first clue. But Richard was already walking toward the elevators, and Barbara had her arm linked through mine, and somehow I found myself nodding along. Yeah, traffic was fine. Happy to be here. The lie came out so easily I almost believed it myself. Why didn't I correct them? I still don't know. Maybe because Richard seemed so excited. Maybe because admitting I was a complete stranger felt more awkward than just figuring it out later. Maybe because I'm an idiot. We got to their suite, and Richard started unpacking fishing gear while explaining the week's itinerary. Deep sea fishing on Monday, snorkeling on Wednesday, beach volleyball tournament on Friday. Barbara brought out a cooler full of sandwiches. You must be starving. I made your favorite, turkey and Swiss. I hate Swiss cheese, but I ate it anyway because I was in too deep to back out now. That's when she walked in, Richard's daughter, carrying shopping bags and looking exhausted. Dad, the resort gift shop is a scam. They wanted $40 for sunscreen. She stopped when she saw me sitting on the couch eating a sandwich. Who's this? That's Dylan, Barbara said happily. Richard's nephew from Chicago. You haven't seen him since you were kids. The daughter, Isabel, stared at me hard, really hard. Her eyes narrowed. Dylan has a tattoo of a compass on his left forearm. I remember because he got it when he turned 18, and Aunt Linda was furious. I was wearing a t-shirt. Both my forearms were completely visible and completely blank. The room went quiet. I should have confessed right then. Instead, I heard myself say, I got it removed last year. Bad breakup, long story. Isabel's eyebrows shot up. Her parents nodded sympathetically. Richard patted my shoulder. Smart move, son. Fresh start. Isabel didn't stop staring at me. She knew. I could see it in her face. She knew I was lying, but she wasn't saying anything. After her parents left to check on dinner reservations, she sat down across from me. So, Dylan from Chicago. What's my real cousin's middle name? My mind went completely blank. Thomas? It's Alexander, and he's 6'4", not whatever height you are, and he's been in Madrid for the past 6 months on a study abroad program, which my parents apparently forgot because they're distracted with vacation planning. She leaned back and crossed her arms. Who are you, actually? I told her everything. The wrong Dylan, the sign in the lobby, the Swiss cheese I didn't even like. She listened to the whole thing with this expression that I couldn't read. When I finished, she was quiet for a long moment. Then she started laughing. Not a polite laugh, a real one that made her double over. This is insane. You've been here for 30 minutes, and you're already eating my mom's sandwiches? I'm sorry, I said. I'll tell them right now. I'll explain everything. She held up her hand. Wait, how long were you planning to keep this going? I was going to tell them at dinner, or maybe tomorrow morning. I don't know. It spiraled so fast. Isabel bit her lip, thinking, here's the thing. My parents have been stressed for months. Dad's been working overtime. Mom's been dealing with her sister's drama. This vacation is supposed to be their relaxation week. If you tell them now, they'll feel terrible. They'll spend the whole evening apologizing and trying to track down the real Dylan. So what do you suggest? Stay for dinner. Meet them properly as yourself, not as fake Dylan. Tell them you're a friend of a friend who had a reservation mix-up. They'll probably invite you to join us for some activities anyway because that's who they are. Then tomorrow, you can sort out your actual resort situation. It was completely insane. It was also the kindest solution to the mess I'd created. We went to dinner, and I came clean immediately. Mr. and Mrs. Mitchell, I need to be honest. I'm not your nephew. My name is actually Ben, and there was a mix-up in the lobby. Richard looked confused. Barbara looked mortified. Then they both started apologizing profusely for grabbing a random stranger. Isabel jumped in. I invited him to dinner since we already dragged him up to the room. He seems nice, and he's here alone. We ended up talking for 2 hours. Richard told fishing stories. Barbara showed me photos of their actual nephew. Isabel kicked me under the table every time I said something that made her laugh. When dinner ended, Richard insisted on helping me find my actual friend, Dylan. Turns out, my Dylan was 3 floors up, wondering where I disappeared to. Join us for fishing on Monday, Richard said, shaking my hand. Anyone who can roll with a mistaken identity for 30 minutes is someone I want on my boat. I looked at Isabel. She was smiling. You should come. Someone needs to make sure Dad doesn't tell the same fish story 5 times. I went fishing and snorkeling and played in the beach volleyball tournament where Isabel and I absolutely destroyed her parents. We spent every day of that vacation together. On the last night, we were walking on the beach and she stopped. I'm glad my parents grabbed the wrong Dylan. Me too.